said, with some people accusing us of not having any tact, being tone-deaf, fear-mongering, and being objectively evil. It's all just a big misunderstanding, so let me clarify any confusion. Our statement reads, we are intent on not letting Omicron disrupt work in school for the vaccinated. You've done the right thing, and we will get through this. Now for the controversial part. For the unvaccinated, you're looking at a winter of severe illness and death for yourselves, your families, and the hospitals that you might soon overrun. Did Stalin write this? I think this is pretty good. Why doesn't everybody love this? Unfortunately, disobedient folks completely misinterpreted our statement, thinking we're wishing illness and death onto people. No, we're not doing that at all. We're wishing illness and death only on the unvaccinated. And they're not really people. They're inhumane monsters. So I think our mission is clear. If you're not obedient, then we want you dead for Christmas. Now, wanting a large segment of the population to die is part of how President Brandon is creating unity. He's so intent on unity that, as you can see, he created 2 different holiday messages. One for each class of citizen that he's created since taking office. Plus, we gotta get rid of the control group, don't we? These disobedient people are clearly holding our nation back from being unified under one hammer and sickle like we deserve. It's like they're acting out of love instead of acting out of fear. And love is nothing but dangerous misinformation. The disobedient are putting you and your family at risk by being happy and healthy and not getting sick and dying nearly as much as our business plan calls for, and they're living by the Constitution. The Constitution? That's the last thing we at the White House are going to allow to infiltrate our country. Protecting God-given inalienable rights? That puts everything in jeopardy that we and our global partners at Big Tech, the drug companies, and the World Economic Forum have worked so hard to put into place. It's actually been a pretty uphill battle here at the White House to implement the plan. People aren't nearly as scared of the Omicron as we want them to be, so they're not easily controllable. Inflation isn't nearly as high as we want it to be, and President Brandon's Build Back Better plan just got killed. Like, now how are we going to destroy our democracy? So here's what you can do to help our country that we all hate so much. Live in fear. Stop doing your own critical thinking, and stop trusting your heart and God. Those things will always mislead you, but we will lead you properly. Please trust us that you should be as scared as we want you to be, or else we'll want you to die too. And with a little luck, you'll be stricken with enough fear that we'll give you our permission to celebrate the holidays. From all of us here at the White House, we're wishing you a great holiday season.
Can separate you from the love that you are. Whenever you are in a situation and you feel a little bit of constriction and you have something in your heart that you are burning to share, whatever it might be, what you are feeling is a little ring of fear, and that's all. And it's a blessing. It is such a blessing. My goodness, you've confronted 1,000,000 times in your dreams, and all you have to do is walk through it, and it begins to shatter like pieces of glass falling out of a window so that the breeze can blow through. Fear is a blessing. Walk through it. Those of you that have walked on the hot coals know perfectly well what I am saying. Those of you that have ever allowed someone to kiss you with passion know what I am saying. Remember that first kiss? My goodness, you've all walked through these rings of fear so many times, that's old hat. And the only thing that now prevents you from walking through what you think are your rings of fear is that you are choosing to perceive it as a wall of 100 miles thick. And as a curse instead of a blessing, that's the only difference. You begin to get the freedom of it all. Good. So now I can return to the place from whence I have come, sitting at the right hand of God, surveying all below me, seeking out the poor and wretched sinners who have need of me to save them. Boy, aren't I hot stuff. I think I'll just rest in reality and be right with you in your own heart throughout all of eternity, as an aspect of yourself that is your brother and your friend as long as the happy dream is necessary. They once tried to get rid of me and it didn't work. And now you can tell your friends Christ has indeed returned because that mind is awakened within you. And so if one comes and says, do you believe in the second coming? Say, well, of course, behold, I stand before you. In other words, lighten up and have some fun. So what I'm going to ask you to do now, tomorrow, this is very important. I want you to do whatever and only what you truly want to do. Whew, think about it. So right away, you see, we've collaborated to create some rings of fear. And if you are willing to accept them as a blessing, you can walk through it. Just use tomorrow as the one day that you are choosing to do only what you truly, from the depth of your being, want to do. I wonder what that might mean. It'll be a very interesting day. Are you willing to try it out? And if some of you have a certain work that you go to that inwardly you are not so pleased with, if in the morning when you wake up what you really want to do is to go sit on a rock overlooking the ocean, call your employer and tell them that something's come up. You don't have to tell them that awakening has come up, and do it. Go walk through your fear and sit on a rock. Now, will consequence come from that? Well, perhaps. Are you willing to really walk through your ring of fear? Are you willing to let the illusions shatter and allow your life to be reformed by the one who has sent you forth? Oh my goodness, it's entirely up to you, so keep that in mind. Love one another as your Father has first loved you, and he has loved you with unlimitedness and with joy. He sees the perfection of your light wherever you are. You are free to don the cloak of time and yet be beyond time. You are the one that comes to bring light to this world. You are infinite. You are eternal. You are the beauty. You are the beauty of every ray of light that dances 1,000 diamonds across the waters of this planet. You are the beauty and the light of every star. You are the vastness and the silence and the power of space in which all things have arisen in your little physical universe. You are the brightest of colors and the deepest of tones. You are the perfect melody. You are the song, the instrument and its composer, and you are the one that delights in the song. You are all that I am, and we are one. Christ eternal, unbounded oceans of love, light and perfection, perfection. You are the prodigal son that has journeyed through all of time and all of space and all worlds, and now has returned to your Father's sacred place. Start chowing down on the food and the abundance that's on the table, for the feast has been prepared for you. The time is at hand, and the journey is over. Welcome home. Welcome home, precious and holy friend. Peace be unto you as you dance your light into this world and work with me. Play with me at translating the unhappy dream into the happy dream. Each of you is a miracle worker because the miracle has been accepted in you, by you. I and my Father are one. Peace be unto you. And indeed heaven and earth have been joined in you and extended as far from the east to the west.